You can hear me? Too loud? All right. Joy. Who likes that song? Adam Grammer? What? Okay. Well, why I'm playing that is joy. Blessed. We are blessed to be here, aren't we, guys? In this place, we're going to be talking about this thing. Millionaire should feel like an exciting thing, right? This place here at Banff National Park. This place where people from all around the world put on their bucket list to be here, right? They come here. We're here, we're blessed. We're at Real Broker at such a pivotal spot in our company. Blessed, joy. But you can't think Banff Springs without thinking luxury, right? When you think of luxury, who can afford this hotel? Who can afford to come across the world to be here, to be at this place, spending the money we do? You think the word millionaire, right? It's Banff Springs after all. So we're going to talk about that today in the they gave me less time. I better go fast. In other words, we're going to be building more than a business plan, because to build a business plan, you just have to follow what Sharon already taught us. We have his business plans. Many of us are team leaders. We saw all the names in the room. Building a business plan is different than becoming a millionaire plus realtor, and that's what we're going to dive into today. And my purpose is to give you this, I can do it. Every one of us in the room is at a different place in our financial picture. I want all of us to leave this room with the tools that I'm going to give you, and there's a QR code at the very end that I want you to take and play with once you take a shot of it to turn it into I can. This can be me. Would that be worthy of my time with you? Story time, though, first, and why I can give you a little context. That's me down in Laguna Beach, my favorite place, where's Sharon, in the world. I got the girl. That's the end of the story. But that wouldn't be that helpful. But barely. That's me, 27 years old, with my kid Riker, where I just went through a divorce. Completely broken, full of pieces, trying to put things back together before most of my friends were even putting their pieces back together for the first time. 13 months later, I met her, Becky, the one in the picture before, and we went on a road trip. That's our Six Flags t-shirts down in California. Ever been to Six Flags? This was like 10 days, make it or break it, 3 months into the relationship. Well, we made it. We fell in love, thankfully. We got the girl, but barely. But this is why. I bought this house with a few dollars I had left from my home equity line of credit because I gave my ex everything. I took on all the marital debt. It was big. And I bought this house, but I asked her to move in there with me. Little did she know, 3 months later, I would walk in, because that's me shoveling in the office, because we couldn't pay the bills anymore at the office to pay for the snow removal. I had to go in, head down like I'm in that picture, and I had to say, honey, you know what? I don't have a paycheck. I don't know when I'm going to get it. So this girl, way smarter than me, 2 years younger than me, picking up this broken man and his kid, had to now pay my bills, my mortgage, my everything. Not a good place to be. Remember, I got the girl, but barely. She would never tell you, but barely. But God, she should have left me. Something had to change. I had to change. I had to invest in myself. That's when I did things like this. Go to conferences for the first time. Hire coaches. Meet people. Invest in software. Finally get out there and grind. Like Sharon said, effort. We progressed. The family progressed. She stayed with me. We got married. Things went well. Baby number 1, baby number 2. We progressed. The business progressed. That's the same office where I was shoveling, where we could actually hire a few people again. Bought investment properties, bought our commercial office building, and now many of you have been through our Red Line office, which is pretty special. We did persevere through this. I got the girl, but barely. We learned a few lessons along the way, and this is what I learned. It's like what you can control, friends, what you have right now is enough. I didn't have a lot back then. What you have right now, what you can control, is what we're going to talk about. This should be your jumping ground today. And this is how we're going to become and put the pieces together for your Millionaire Realtor journey. See, as realtors, Sharon talks about this a lot. We're an entrepreneur-centric organization. Realtors are entrepreneurs by virtue, by default. But we're not tapping the power that's available to us enough. We're working for tips, as Tom Ferry would say. Working for tips is just working for the commissions. That's just building the business plan. That's just the income side of the equation. That's not the path to millionaire status. I believe there's 3 ways to do this. And it's 3 levers that we're going to work with and I'm going to unpack with you today. 1, 2, 3. They work together towards that millionaire plus status to create wealth. Who wants some wealth building today? Me too. Lever 1. This is what we mostly talk about. Most of what we heard today is all about income, right? Leads, generations, getting people to call us, conversations. It's pretty simple. We focus here. We earn a commission from the volume of homes we sell, however you do it. But I want you to think about this. We don't have time to go into how to build that because you've already heard it. We have it all, like Sharon said. But we affect lever 1 in our business. Lever 1 is income in these 4 ways. Grab this as a screenshot. We either get coached on how to sell more houses, which is the way most business plans go. But it's also the commission rate we charge, right? Because some of us discount. Put your hands up. No, you won't do that. I know you won't. The sale price. We just came off the luxury panel. The sale price for what we sell also changes our income level. And then the number of people that are out there doing all of this, and we get a small piece for it. This is how. That's the only 4 ways we can drive income. This is how we build our business plans. If we're going to do quickly, I'll give you one little bit. This is the order I would do it in. Stop discounting if you are. Increase your price point if you haven't given that attention yet. Same amount of effort, different price point, more income, right? But maybe we just work by default to this point. We sell more homes. That takes a little bit more time. That's the business plan. And then are there more people that are selling to give us a split? I'm going to give you 250 plus ways to just make sure you know how to sell more homes. Okay, will that be helpful? That QR code is going to be at the end. But what I want to talk about for lever 1, one of the 3, friends, is income. And I want to talk about it in the form of leverage, because I don't think we use that word enough in our business. The concept of creating leverage is this: a little effort in, hopefully a big result out. You get it? Little effort in, little effort out. That's low leverage. So let's go through a little game. Is this high or low leverage? Me out door knocking in my community in the slopes. For those that know Calgary, these lots are big, the driveways are longer, it's not fun. So is this high or low leverage? Certainly is. But what if that low leverage activity has a plan, an intention? It's compounded with other things. That's little Bentley, my little boy. Because I live in the community, that's my view out the backyard. And I know everybody in that community knows that I live there. So that same door knock, but because I live there, that creates more leverage, doesn't it? It's compounded, right? So when I strategically go out at busy times to put my signs up with my little kid who they see walking around with me, that adds to my leverage, doesn't it? Low leverage compounded together, and that's Jimmy Mackin's I Have a Buyer listing that got me this result, $167,000 of income last year, because of the compounding benefit of that low leverage activity with a plan, with more things. If it was a one and done, it wouldn't have done nothing. But because there was a plan, the leverage paid off. So leverage. I want you to decide among those 4 things, am I being intentional about creating leverage in our business to drive lever 1, which is income? To sell more homes, what could I do? Am I actually trying to increase my sale price? Or is just the same amount of effort selling the same average home? But what if it was 2x the sale price? That's what I did when I walked through the private gate in the slopes one day and said, I might as well door knock these homes instead of the average. More leverage on my time. I would just want you to think about that today and filter through everything you've heard about income. Could I give myself more leverage? We go day in, day out, year in, year out, without thinking about it enough. So, step 1, lever 1, we need to increase our income. Yes, but we should do it smart with leverage. But we need to do it to make the consistent efforts, because if we don't have consistent income, we're building our house on unstable ground. We can't do the millionaire journey together if I'm on unstable income ground. Do you guys get that? This chateau did not survive this long on shitty foundation. Agreed? So we need this to set the stage for lever 2. And lever 2 is what you don't want me to talk about, but you're going to have to, because when I first rolled this out to my redline agents, their heads went down. You're talking about expenses. Lever 2 is expenses and expense management. You're not going to want to do this, but that's the path to income, to wealth creation, friends. See, it's the lever 1 plus lever 2 is the only way we start our wealth journey. It's not driven by just income only. So, we need to get to this word. This is my holy grail in my business. It's not income. It's not GCI. It's generating free cash flow. The more free cash flow I have, the more exciting I get because I know I can do something with it, not just income. This changes it. So we can do this in 3 ways, right? You could just go make more money, follow a business plan, right? You could spend the same. You generate some net free cash flow once you understand it. You can make the same and spend less, but that's kind of like pulling blood out of a stone. It's hard to save your way to wealth, right? Or why don't we just make more and spend less to generate more net free cash flow? Profit, if you like that word better. So this is me back shoveling in austerity mode. We had to take paper envelopes with cash out of our bank account every week and divvy it up to say, Darren, you get a haircut every 90 days. And you have to go to the barber, not the salon. This is how much you get per week to spend money on your coffee. And we looked for those deals in 2009. So we set an austerity budget. We persevered with it. Eventually, 2011, we stayed the course. We decided to upgrade. But we stayed the course with our expense management. That's the only reason we could. Yes, I was pulling lever 1, increase in income. But I was staying true with lever 2, expense management, and allowed us to do this. A couple years later, little Hennessy was coming along, and we're like, we need another house, right? We're realtors. Need another house, let's upgrade. So I bought a house in the slopes where I was door knocking. The guy phoned me to sell it. I just said, I'll buy it instead. We looked at ourselves, but we maintained that budget. We had made a goal here, friends. This is why expense management is so key. In 2000, when we bought that house, my wife, who's a CA, thankfully, says, we're going to pay this house off before you're 40. It wasn't a long distance away. When the opportunity to buy this upgraded house came, we were partially down that journey. Expense management, income 1, lever. And we said, are we going to pay this house off? Are we going to take longer? And we looked at ourselves, no. So we made a decision. We upgraded by almost $250,000, but we decided to keep going with the expense management, pulling lever 1 harder, making our more income so that we could do it. And then I got this email from my banker where it was 3 months before I was 40, this luxury house was now paid off completely. It was a combination, friends, towards my Millionaire Realtor journey of income, but incredibly strong expense management to boot. So it together paved one piece of that puzzle. So I'm going to challenge you guys, and this is part of my gift to you, is you're going to have to go through this expense management journey. I'm going to ask you to go through needs versus luxury. There's no gray. There's no gray, guys. I didn't come out of austerity because I played in the gray. Need versus luxury. I want you to do this with your personal expense tracking, your business expense tracking as well. I want you to come to this. You need to know what it costs to run your personal and your business together. That's your burn rate. With your burn rate, you can get excited about that income you make, Adam, because you know it's above and beyond your cost structure. But many of us don't know this, and I know this of you. You're going to get to this net free capital position. You're going to understand this. You're going to say, I actually know at the end of the year how much I have to put forward to generate wealth, not just income. So we're going to do this. As Millionaire Realtors, that's how we do it. Income, expense, double team. But at Real, it's a little better for us because they help us. They help us. You might have noticed revenue share was part of my income line. People paying me, I'm getting paid while people are selling houses doing the same thing. You might have noticed expenses. If you can't control your expenses, you can't even use the share purchase plan, right? Because you couldn't afford it. That would be a shame. Expense management drives toward our wealth. So for us, it's lever 1, income, lever 2, expense management drives towards this path I was using leverage towards millionaire status. And it's only here, if you've done this, that you have a chance to go to level 3 to chart your path towards millionaire status or millionaire plus. And this is where most agents end up falling in the dark because they don't know their expenses enough, which is unfortunate. If you don't know your expenses, if you have no net free cash flow, what happens? No assets, no accumulation of wealth, just more income, another business plan with a bigger number. Assets come in many ways, we know this. It's real estate, it's savings, it's investments, it's businesses. But again, only if we have net free cash flow. Only if. See, we sell and are immersed in one of the most incredible vehicles for this, right, guys? But we get kind of numb to the power of our own real estate. Anybody feel that? We buy and sell and we help and we work for tips, but we're not entrepreneur-centric in that approach. The path to wealth is accumulating assets that are appreciating, not just making more. So many of us make more, have nothing left. We have no assets to build. It's just a hamster wheel year over year over year. That is not our path. No matter how good real stock goes, we get nothing of it if we have nothing left. So for us, leverage, real estate is pretty simple. We maybe just need to remember this. Or maybe that's the takeaway, Eric. 20-to-1 leverage on your own house. 5-to-1 leverage on your investment properties. Those are some pretty big numbers. But again, maybe we just forget because we're working for tips every day. We're just selling more houses. That's it. Right? The math is pretty simple. 5% down, a $500,000 house, $25K, it goes up if it goes up 5%. That's 100% cash on cash return. If you bought an investment property, it's a little different. 100 grand down, 5% up. Cash flows a little bit. We're up to a 43% return on our investment. Still really good, but we're numb to it because we're just selling it and we're working for tips. And we have no expense management, so we have no net free cash flow. Our journey to millionaire status is for the elite, not the average. And that's what I want to get through to us. And I know you know this, but the S&P 500, it returns 8 to 9% annually. There's no leverage there. It's not like us in real estate, is it? But we buy stocks, but that's the stock market. But we get leverage because we buy it dollar for dollar, but then they gift us money, don't they? They gift us money. That's free. That's leverage on my dollar, isn't it? Creating leverage for you. We also have more leverage. There's 18,000 of us trying to grow this company together. What does that do? All of us driving income into this business. All of us trying to grow this business. Is that a little different with the stock than being an Apple employee who just checks in 9 to 5? We are invested in this. I believe in this, don't you? Your unique path to millionaire realtor status, friends, is using these 3 controllables. But you need to be in control. You hear that? You need to be in control. So the summary, your business plan determines this, those 4 things. How many houses you sell, what price point it's going to be, right? How to improve your average sale price. That's what the business plan does. But I want you to think about it now from the terms, am I even using leverage, Franco? Lever 2 is expense management. The financial literacy of this room, I hope, as we leave, looks to improve so that we can spend on needs, not luxuries. There's no gray, right? Spends on ROI creating activities only so that we have a chance to use this number in our lives, net free cash flow. Use that as your holy grail. And then strategically choose the asset vehicle for you. At Real, we should be thankful. It's built into how we do it. So control the uncontrollables. Understand that what you don't, but don't get fearful of it. So I believe it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. But your decision is, what is it going to be for you? What is it going to be for me? And I'm going to help you. So I built this tool. I presented this to my Redline agents. This tool will help you guide through this all. You input all of your income. You put all of your average sale prices. It's going to calculate everything for you. You're going to go through the process. You're going to add in those expenses. You're going to do your homework. You're going to suck, and you're not going to like it, but you're going to go through it, okay? And then it's going to pull out your net free profit already. It's going to be right there calculated for you. And for us at Real, I built a calculator for US and for Canada. So it's already built in, so you just have to put in your numbers and it's going to spit it out for you. You're going to come up with your millionaire gap analysis for 5 years from now. It's going to include your expenses, not just income. It's going to improve your assets, not just income. It's going to give you a gap or not. And you're going to use this. And you're going to get to this point where you have a current 5-year gap. And if you're well beyond millionaire status, don't worry, you can input my 5-year goal is 5 million, and it'll tell you where you sit. So my goal for you is to leave knowing that this will take some time, but you have a plan. You have a plan. It's not as elusive as you had thought, but you're going to have to work with the controllables you have. So it's going to be this. Create the income, right, Dan? But it's going to be manage your money. If you have anything left over, you can use it wisely. And that's the plan for you. So this is a QR code for you to take away. Grab this. Go through. It's a Google Doc. One for Canada, one for US. You don't have to input anything. Just make a copy, take it out of that Google Drive, and use it. I'm here no matter what you want to do and questions to go through it so I can help you get you your millionaire gap analysis if you need any help with the questions. All right? That's all I have for today.